dear viewers, to this segment of Let's Talk Business Entrepreneurship Edition, and we are here to talk about real estate. We have a lady in the house, at least for the past all those other episodes where we've been having a lady, and so this time round we wanted to have a lady here. She has been in the real estate business for quite a while, and I'm sure we shall enjoy this episode. So, Babra, tell us who you are and what you do. Me, I know you, but the people there do not know you. So, do you mind telling us who you are?
My name is Babra Kyomusiima. I'm a quantity surveyor by profession. I've worked for the last 10 years.
Wow.
I run a construction company called Silverstone Management. I also host a property show about real estate and construction on Property Hour in Next Radio. Generally, I'm passionate about engineering, construction, real estate, name it, and I'm always ready to share and inspire.
That's nice. It's people think when you say you are passionate about engineering, all those things, building. Someone will have the image of the whole wheelbarrow put in the whole thing. They think it's money. How have you been as a lady, been involved in this for over 7 years, 8 years, 9 years in this kind of business?
I think, like any person, to be a performer, you have to get hands-on experience. So even me, to be able to excel on what I do, I had to learn all those details. Maybe there are extreme works which doesn't necessitate even whether male or female, and they use machinery. But the rest, if you can't manage it, a woman do it, you know it.
Yeah.
So and then understanding the whole things and appreciating why things are done the way they are, they help you deliver much better.
That's perfect. You have been in this real estate business for a decade. So it means you have evolved, you have understood what happens in this real estate business. You have, if something you have done, it means you've done it for over 5 years. So we would like to understand, what do you think are the challenges that the real estate business or the real estate circle, because when we talk about the business, it means there are some investors, there are some people who are probably also owning the land, but we want to understand the real estate business. What are the challenges? What challenges are you facing in real estate business?
For real estate business, it's quite a broad subject, but just talking about real estate itself, the people out there really sometimes find it so hard to differentiate what someone is doing and what's actually happening in the market. There is the bit of real estate business, like you said it, that any person out there can participate in, as long as you want to know more about real estate and know what kind of business you want to
houses,
do. Yes.
Yeah.
When you identify that kind of business, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
But then there's also the real estate, the professional
The
business.
development.
Yes.
To build something from down,
And
where
then,
people are going to meet and stay.
and then that requires like real estate professionals. So say you have to learn engineering, or you have to learn valuation, for example, property management, and all these professional bit to go around real estate. So real estate business for itself is like, say for say you have some cash, right? And you want to go buy yourself a very plot of land and develop it, or say you want to buy a whole chunk of land somewhere, subdivide it and sell it
in plots.
for a profit. I don't think you need a degree to do that. Yeah, if talk of brokerage, don't know that you really want to. We really uphold area Uganda and what's doing about it. But at least if you can do brokerage, you don't need a degree or anything else to do that work. So I think for real estate business, it's like open, getting to know buying and selling, you're letting or you're leasing, all the things happen within the real estate business.
Which brings, you mentioned the word brokerage. It brings us, you see, in Uganda, we have, you walk 10 meters, you're going to find a signpost. we want to rent a house, we rent out houses, we buy, sell cars and houses and land. So I'm thinking this is someone who is in houses, who is in land, who is in cars, because they always have all those things. So we come in and ask ourselves, because me, I am a person who is passionate about understanding what kind of business is going around in our country. So we have youth out there who would like to engage themselves into the kind of, because when they say when a person comes out and says I flipped a house probably and got because you didn't use any money to build the house. All you had to do was flip the house from probably 100 million, you sell it 150 million, I'm giving an example, and you have 50 million to yourself, and the owner of the house wanted 100 million. But you got a buyer who bought at 150 million. So
you see, it's all that relies on the information you have. If say you're there and you know you get to, that information gets to you that the person there is selling a plot of land or is flipping that house and selling it for that much money, and you get the proper details and you sell. So you get your commission, and you don't have to. You don't have to have done so much of it, as long as you connect the buyer and the seller. I mean, isn't it what business is all about? Yeah. You're connecting a buyer and a seller.
And you make your money.
Yes. A willing buyer and a willing seller.
True.
Yes.
Because you may have a willing buyer, but the seller is not willing to sell.
Exactly.
So it means that in Kampala, we can say, or in Uganda, we have.
In Uganda, we can say.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you people sell for different reasons. So if you feel like you need to move from Sonde and you want to go and stay in Kololo, you may want to sell Sonde, all of it with everything you need, and you go and buy. So that whole process is.
Yeah. So this brings me to what I think is itching very many people there. How do you determine the price, or how do you determine the value of these properties, or the components of real estate? Because when it comes to real estate, I think it comes houses, I think, and land. They're the people who know these things better. How do you determine these values? What mechanism, what techniques do you use to determine that a plot of land in Kololo is $1 million, which is probably 3.7 billion Uganda shillings, and a plot of land in Sonde is maybe 50 by 100, they're telling you 70 million, 80 million. What techniques are there to determine the values in land?
Of course, mostly in professional wise,
Yes,
that's what
yes.
a valuation surveyor does.
Yes.
People who've done what they call land economics. And then if you want to know any of those, you can check out Surveyor's Registration Board for any registered valuer to help you determine the value of the land, to determine the value of the building. How do they come up with such? They have methods like, I know for example, the comparative, like comparing, you compare, you see, if every one of you is selling 50 million, each plot of, each 50 by 100 plot of land is 50 million, in that range in a certain area, then chances are even that amount, that your range would be between 40 to 60 million.
True.
For that same price.
Because I think everyone, that's what the price they're selling.
Yeah, and then of course they come to those prices, you find like a place has amenities like roads, has electricity, it has hospitals nearby, so those things affect the value of the land. There are other things where you find the terrain of the land and wherever it is, they affect because for example, I can't be like on a hill and have a nice view, even if though we are in a very nice place and you're in the valley and there's water and it's wet. So we can't have the same price even if you're in the same area. So like those are the things that help in the business. You can tell, like I can't have the same price as you. So there are so many factors that come into when they are coming up to that valuation of saying that this is the value of the land here and I need to buy it. Yeah.
So we know that housing is one of the things that, or we can call them the basic needs of man, housing. So it gives it an automatic market by default. or someone
By
has to
default,
go.
actually talking about it, because we still have a housing deficit in Uganda as we talk now, because we have this population that's coming.
Exploding.
Yeah, it's literally exploding. So we still need houses, so many of them. So there is still need for housing for this population. So
Yeah. So now, do you think that we have a conducive environment to maybe develop or to go out there and bring out new ideas or something interesting for government to change, of government, even private sector? Because, like I said, housing is something that it's a basic need for everyone.
definitely.
It's a basic need. And I believe that everyone out there would either want to buy, rent, or lease, whatever, a house, okay? Or where to stay. What recommendations would you, as a person who has been in this circle for a very long time, for quite a while, not a very long time, but for quite a while, what recommendations would you give a person out there who is now ready to venture into getting housing for himself? Because we have different viewers here. We have, first of all, we have viewers who are between the age of 18 and 25. Then we have those who are between the age of 26 to 34. Then we also have the ones of 35 and above. So we have those three types of people who are willing now to go out there and do a housing. Probably we shall find that one will do a renting, one will do a buying, and I don't know the other, but what?
I think if I can take you through the ranges that are available in Uganda, is you have to understand all these age groups. You talked about them. But a major thing you have to look at is the income levels. With low income earners, we have high, medium income earners, and we have high income earners. So definitely, there's that housing need each of those have. Yeah. So for the high income earners, certainly they are the ones that you find okay, they can afford these expensive styles of building, expensive methods like precast, or you find that someone has a mansion, some who are costing billions of money, yet it can actually build 5 or 6 houses somewhere for the middle income or the, so like there is that difference which is huge. But if I would advise a government, because the high income earners are few, then middle somehow, but the low income earners are the majority. So I would encourage like the government to try to sensitize the people to adapt to low income, to low cost housing styles. You get that everyone, like if it's in that case that we have a housing need, everyone should know about it. For example, we have, I can give an example. There is actually a very wonderful lady who is the operator for Smart Haven Africa. They use bricks made out of mud. They don't have to burn the brick, so they put in mud stabilizer and they make the bricks offside, and they build up interlocking bricks. You don't need cement, sand. So like that's a very concept that is low cost, that the government should fund such projects to be able to make sure that at least every person can afford a home. Yeah, and then for middle income earners, as in if you can start saving, you know there's a power of also people in real, there's a power of saving and investing in groups. Meaning you get access bigger chunks of land in good areas, and if it's big you can even if we do urban like physical planning for those places to have very beautiful cities for yourselves, because there's that power for everyone else there who can say, let's keep some money every month. In 2 years we should have bought land. In 2 years we should have subdivided that land. Each one buy and build their house accordingly and in a smart way. So there you get, the government gets to encourage such projects to build up like a very smart country for the world. So and then those we are in cities where it's a bit congested.
True. There's a lot of congestion.
Yes, so we opt for high-rise buildings. And for the record, there's nothing wrong living in a condominium or living in an apartment and you're a family. You get, there's this cultural thing of saying just because you're a man, you have to first buy an acre of land and build a 5-bedroom house. and then you get to be a man. No, you can even just own a condo near town where you can do all your business and actually be able to save
Go
lots
home
of money
over the weekend or something like that.
Yes, and it should be conducive for you. In the long run. It's viable. Than reaching in 20 years time, the city will have reached Mukono, Ruwero, Gaya,
you have to drive from the other side, traffic.
You have to drive from Muzilogo, you're coming to work to Kampala. What's the sense?
So this is the discussion we are having today, our dear viewers. We are looking at how or what determines the real estate market in Uganda, and this is, this is something that has been on the radar for quite a while, because we have to understand that housing is something important. We need to have housing, but then at the end of the day is what kind of housing or what type of housing. So this brings us to the kind of materials we use to, because we normally see a lot of building materials, but I don't know if I went to buy bars, iron bars, or in our local language I will call them itayimbo. If I went to buy those iron bars and you wrote for me, you have your engineering language, you put
why
forget.
Why is it buying 500 kilograms for ice?
I just don't understand those things. But I go there, I go to a hardware. Probably, I'm giving an example of one Tom who has gotten an quotation from an engineer and has gone to the hardware to ask for these things. So we don't know if these hardwares are selling us authentic building materials. We are seeing buildings collapsing every now and then. Is it the issue of the building materials? Is it the issue of the engineer? Where is it? Where is the issue?
That's quite a wide range, because for materials, we have UNBS to be able to verify, and like for bars or something, you can also do tests in lab tests. Brokerage has a lab test. You can always check the quality of sand, quality of those sample materials to use. And then also we have structural engineers who make sure that the structural engineers kind of help you in determining if this is going to weigh this. So for it to stand strong, you need this kind of bar. Either it should be 16 or 20 or that, like that. So for such scenarios where people don't know what they need to use, it's best they look for like a registered engineer or what, because we still have many quacks of practitioners
talking about quacks.
market,
the person will go and their building, and then they will just measure with their eyes. Say, no, put the cement here like this. So anyway, that's the discussion for another day, where we have all those
all
people.
I can say, if you want to deal with things of real estate, with construction, with engineering, all that kind, please, if you can. It will hurt you in the pocket in the beginning, but it will save you lots of money eventually. So look for a professional when it comes to all those things.
Wow. So this is the first segment, and we are coming back for the next segment, but hit the like button, subscribe, and at least comment. Let us know what you think about this show as we come back for the next segment. So welcome to this other segment of what determines the real estate market. So, Babra, we have a youth out there. We have this mentality in Uganda that someone to own real estate must be actually probably above 50. Most of them above 50, above. So we have youth out there who want to own this real estate, who have expounded themselves on the knowledge to understand that real estate has some little income that comes out of it. How would you advise someone out there who is willing to come into real estate at the young age, but then has been moralized with the conditions that the atmosphere of the business?
You see, for any entrepreneur, like getting to normal entrepreneurial skills, anyone can go into the real estate business. Like I told you, you see your plot next to you sell it and get commission, brokerage, or you use a skill like that I have and I obtain money and be able. So the whole thing comes also to to when you want to go bigger, you have to learn to save and keep money and make it grow. And real estate is actually one of those places you can grow your money. So let's begin is, are you saving to invest? Okay, because there are very many real estate opportunities for you to invest. You can buy 1 acre, divide it, how many plots do you get? 7, and sell it at a price higher. There is profit.
But this youth doesn't have this money to buy the 1 acre of land. Doesn't have the money. So how will this? You're telling this youth who has lived literally 25 years in this world, and they have spent 25 years in school, so they haven't been working.
23 years.
23 years.
They start working at around 23.
At around 23. Okay, this person is 27, has maybe worked for only a year, or even hasn't worked yet. So they haven't saved. They totally have nothing. But they are looking at starting to go in real estate. Because we have seen some people come to real estate with nothing, but then at the end of the year, they come out with something.
Because now it comes to, if you are an individual and maybe, first of all, if you didn't study anything related to real estate, you're not going to earn from it because, first of all, you didn't study anything related to it, so no one can employ you regards to that. But here you are just an individual, say you want to invest in real estate, right? So I've just started working, probably I earn 500 or I earn 1 million.
That's
so
the basic salary.
That's the basic salary. What do I do? Start saving, then also start saving maybe as a group of 10, 20, 30. You know, we have a proverb in Ruchiga that says, Agate negate gufa. So meaning that when we are so many, even the hardest situation, you can hit it. So yes, if you're 20 and you're saving 500, okay, say 300,000 every month. So how much is 20? That's 6 million a month. At the end of the year, that's about 72 million a month. Then you don't have to have that money and say, I'm going to invest in Kololo. It doesn't make sense. So go off for a bit away from the city where the land is a bit cheap. Buy a bit bigger chunk of land, subdivide it, then put up a markup and sell the single pieces of land. And then keep the money. When you make the profit, don't eat it. You
put it back again.
You like eating money. You put the money back.
So the youth like eating money.
So
they have worked so hard for them.
If you make profit,
I know,
please don't eat all of it.
So put it back inside.
For real estate, it's one sure thing you know that it's tangible. It's not going anywhere.
It's not going to depreciate.
It's not like saying you're going to buy bonds and what, and then they go down, and probably you lose your money. No. Here you always find your land there. It's not going anywhere. So it wouldn't hurt if you actually got and put back in the business. But even while you're doing this business, you have to be very careful. There are vultures out there ready to eat your money to give you fake land.
This is what I was going to come to.
So
we have very many fake, I call them fake brokers, fake sellers, fake. What do you think should be done, or how do you think we should manage to make sure that we reduce on the people we are dealing with in the real estate? Because if you mention the word broker in some people, between some people, they'll tell you the first impression will be like, the broker is not a straight person. Broker is not a straight person. 95% of people you're going to meet are going to tell you they have had bad experiences.
So now, like for land issues, one is per se, it's easier and best to buy a land with a title.
Yes.
If something doesn't have a title, maybe you need to think twice. And even if they give you a title, you do a land search. You confirm that the plot that you're buying is in this one's name.
You go to the land office. Why do you do the land search?
Go to the Ministry of Land.
Okay.
And they'll help you do the search. Now that's why it's even in any real estate business. Now still there you need professionals. To be able to guide you through on how you make your purchases, you need a lawyer to do for you agreements and know it. You have a legit lawyer to to help, because some lawyers, they come also looking like lawyers. They eat the money with the other parts too. So you have to be careful throughout those processes. So now that's also like one of the businesses we've talked about, land splitting. But then there's also having, say, you split maybe, and you have extra money to build. Build houses, low cost or what, but for sale. Because sometimes rent, the payback period is long. Say if you have built, I don't know what you built, or sometimes to say you're putting back and you're waiting for your money to come out after 12 years. Sometimes it's not viable, even with Corona.
Build and sell, because even now, right now, I'm sure some landlords out there are going to see their rent, their rents for like 5 months.
Yeah, with Corona, 12 years, you know. So if you build and sell, it's easier. You get your money back very fast with a profit, and keep doing the same, because that's what I've seen others grow. And us, actually, I want Uganda to encourage Ugandans. They shouldn't see like foreigners around that are coming and doing this development. Even us, we can do this development. It shouldn't, it's just come together, put our brains together, put our expertise together, and know what can work for us. We can even do this development on a cheaper level than having these people take away like all the market from us Ugandans. We can come together and think through and put ideas together and do these kinds of real estate businesses that can, and it doesn't need to be why you're an engineer or what. Me, we bring money here and we're like, okay, we want to build this, and this is a goal. As long as the goals are very clear from what goal, anything is possible. So
for someone out there who wants to come and have what you just said with you or with the group of people, how does the person out there, the viewer, identify the group to work with? Or how does the person manage to identify the right people to work with? Because that's what that one is an important issue.
For like an investment group, you have to kind of have the same interests and the same level of commitment. And then with an investment group, if you don't have rules and regulations, you're finished. If we say we want this and you have to keep them,
you're finished.
You first put friendship aside, and you're like, this is what we want at the end of the day.
Sure.
So if you have those rules and regulations very clear, the real estate shouldn't be hard. You should actually be encouraged, because you see, when you're many, there's another thing that I have learned. When you're many, you have social capital. You get the people I know, social capital. The people I know who can help us in our work are not the same as the people you know. And so if me and you came together, you can imagine the circle of that so many people that can boost our business together. So those are like some of the advantages that people are not taking care of.
Wow.
Even in the real estate
So we are getting into the last segment of our show. We're going into the last segment, which is the mindset change corner. So comment, tell us what exactly you want Babra to explain to us about the real estate. We shall bring her back here. So we are back to this segment of the Mindset Change Corner, and when we come to this Mindset Change Corner, we talk about saving, investment, and mentorship. Because we cannot talk business without talking about saving. We cannot talk about business and we don't talk about investment. We shall also not talk about business and fail to talk about mentorship. That's the complete circle of business. So, Babra, we know that these are the three elements. We have saving, we have investment, and probably mentorship, which is somewhere in those two, because it has to be there. Do you feel like very many youth or people out there, do you feel they have that mindset of saving and investment?
Quite frankly, I find that the youth, most times they're in survival mode, so they tend to spend everything they have. So, and then also like society puts pressure on them to uphold a certain standard. So you find like if someone is earning 1 million, they are renting like a house of 600, and then like it doesn't add up because
there's no money to save.
Yeah, there is no money to save. But if even me, I'm more through mentorships for business and the likes, but I found something that works for me. I'm a Christian.
Wow.
So if whichever income, personal and self-employed, whichever income you get 10% off, you tithe.
Yeah.
Get 30% off, you save. Then the 60% can go into your rent, your big nice, but have that culture. For saving, you have to develop the culture.
So with you, you're doing the 60-40 rule.
Yeah.
You do the 60 to do all you ever have to do, the dates,
Yes.
the saving,
Yeah.
the dates,
Yeah.
the rent, all those other things. Then
Yes.
the 10% will go to the Lord because you're going to give tithe to the Lord.
Yes.
And then the 30% will go to your savings.
Yes.
So that's a very good thing. So at least we have asked very many people, and that seems they go with the 70-30 rule or the 70-40 rule. The ones who go with the 60-40 rule still have the 40 going somewhere else.
Yes, yeah.
Then the others who are doing the 70-30 also the same. But that's the whole thing. Everyone is running around the 30% of your income to
You have
save.
to save, yes.
Yeah, which is quite a good thing.
And given when you have chances that you don't have much expenditure, you could still save that money if you didn't have to spend it. Yeah. Also, the other thing is sometimes people are just naturally givers. Like if you want this, you have. You have. But surprisingly, it's like even in the 60% that you have to spend, you can say, okay, in this 20 or 10, it's purposely to give. So if you've given in that month more than what you're supposed to, you have to wait for the next.
You must have a cup.
Yeah, a cup of say, this is how much I can give away. This is how much I'm comfortable of giving away. So in that way, it's like nothing kind of surprises you, and you're still able to play the social person, play the committed person in all those areas. So if that becomes like that, it becomes a habit. You find after some time you have enough money to do an investment. Then there is also, if you do the investment, don't go blindly. Do calculated risks. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to do this investment, but you don't even know what you're going to get out of the investment.
You haven't done any plan.
You haven't done any plan, because at the end of the day, the whole investment thing is to grow your money. Like unless you have to find how to grow your money. Period. If you don't grow it, then you're still saving and investing with something that's still there. Of recent I learned about something called cash conversion. How long does your money take to come back to you? Say you did this, how long does it take to come back to you?
Yeah.
Some people say is they get the money, invest all of it, say in inventory or in anything like that, and it sticks there for 6 months before they start getting their first profit.
Wow.
You get that? That's not how I is it?
It's not about using this.
Yeah.
Well, you have to wait for
It depends on the business, but we always also have to see through the cash conversion. Is like, I'm doing this, when do I expect to get that? Because now that it's an investment, that you learn to say, okay, if I'm buying land and keeping it for 2 years, maybe 2 years will appreciate it and sell.
And you have some little cash more out of it.
Yes. So, but there you're not in a hurry to say, I invest, cut the land into what, within 6 months I get back my money, I reinvest again, you get. So some places you have to be intentional on exactly how you want to grow your money in investment.
That is really the most important thing. Where do you have to invest your money? So we still come to this part where we feel like a section of the youth have not been mentored to understand. We are specifically looking at investment in real estate here. They have not been mentored to understand how and when and where to invest when it comes to real estate. We want to prepare them for the real estate market, or so that they can be the market of the real estate. So they don't know how, where, and when. We also have people who are in the diaspora who would like to invest here. We have seen how people in the diaspora have been, they have faced the challenge with the crooks. They take pictures, they give them different houses, and the person comes here and it's I would like to use the word, it's a wrap. So how do you think, what do you think would be recommendations to at least mentor someone out there who is looking at investing in this real estate market?
Still, for diaspora, if you can avoid your relatives, much better. And I'm not saying go to strangers, go to fully registered companies that are running real estate business. Okay, so if say I had you have a company and you're building apartments, and in that way, as long as it's there, it's legit. Like you're not even looking for a particular person that you come and I give you. So it's best they have investments where it's fully known by everyone, rather than just one individual investment, because you're in USA and where you will never know.
It's literally over 1,000 miles away from where you're putting your money every week.
You will never know. If some diasporans should also, I picked up this idea from someone, but they should also make groups also. They pull up their monies together. They can even use that same money, come and develop a project by themselves. Something like
the diaspora has quite a good.
Then all they have to do is still hire a professional architect, the professional people to come and do the right job, bid and make sure they get the product that they want. Now for the youth out there, you don't have to be 30, 40, 50 to purchase land. I mean, you can. I know there's that hype of like the moment you start working, you have to eat, you have to splash a car, you have to fit in society, you have to get married, you don't have to do like no one is running
no one is chasing you.
No one is running after you. Set your priorities right on the goal and say that whether this happens or this happens, I'm able to grow. I'm able to grow as
basically do self-development. Because this is your life. This is your life. You're the one living your life. So you must do self-development.
So you have to say, no matter what happens, I have to grow. I have to buy land. I have to buy this. I have to develop myself. I have to do these things for myself. So it shouldn't. Other things shouldn't sway you away from the objective.
Your goal.
Your goal. You stay straight on. You keep the focus, and there is so much plenty to do eventually, but there's nothing that pays off like having a peaceful night when you've accomplished
whatever you are going to do.
I get it. There's nothing as good as that. So I would encourage them as like go after your dreams, and real estate business is real, and you can make it in life with it.
Thank you very much, Babra. To our dear viewers, we really want you to appreciate through your comments. Let us know what you really want us to come back and discuss about real estate, because you have been asking a lot of questions about real estate. So this is the time. We have a person who has been in the real estate for 5-10 years. So it's your time. Comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't have to miss. Click on that notification bell. You don't have to miss anything, because we are going real. Let's talk business. Thank you.